Well, here we are once again. G'day, Davey boy. G'day, Blue. G'day, Oggy. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Not
You
too
doing
bad.
okay, I'm assuming?
Oh, we're doing all right. We got
Oh,
a full team lined up for the start for this morning's start, and I've
And that is
closed.
a funky background.
That's a funky background. Well, this is what we're going to be talking about today, actually. This is something that Blue sent me, which is interesting. What happened this week? So, you might have got a bit of a clue from yesterday's video that was released. That this world is a bit of a fucked up place, effed up place. Martin's journey. Funny club. Good morning. One of our Patreons has joined. One of our patrons or members has joined the channel. He comes up in a nice little red colour. Look at that. Pretty cool, isn't it? So I watched this movie at the beginning of the week called Bliss, which was a little bit of a mind bender. I don't know if anybody knows the actual program Bliss, but it just was just a bit of a sort of a slap in the face, and there was a lot of a lot of. It's very hard to really describe. There's a lot in the movie which probably requires a second viewing to really sort of say anything about it properly. But
Salma Hayek and somebody else.
Here we go. So let me just bring it up on screen there. So,
yes, Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson and Salma Hayek, because she's aged, hasn't she? A mind-bending love story following Greg, who recently, being divorced, then fired, meets a mysterious Isabel, a woman living on the street, convinced that the polluted, broken world around him is a computer simulation. And this really sort of leads into this whole are we living in a simulation sort of type of thing. And of course, on top of that, this movie here, A Glitch in the Matrix, was released this week. I think it was 31st of January or something like that, or last week or this week it finally came to thing. And so that followed on as a direct watch on from Bliss. And it sort of just reinforced what Bliss was about, if you know what I mean. It just, hold on a second, what are we missing here? You got Elon Musk, he's out there. He says he's convinced that the planet isn't, stuck in a matrix, is stuck in a virtual world, and are we really in a simulation? He's really sort of on that sort of ballpark, and now he's manipulating the simulation, which is something that I was sort of making reference to in yesterday's video. How did he manipulate the Matrix? Well, they sort of the big story this week is Musk announced that he'd bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, which sent Bitcoin through the roof. I think it jumped like sort of $8,000. As soon as that announcement was made. But of course, what's happening there is the fact that he didn't buy them last week. No, he had to report that he'd bought them. It's a big difference. And just his act of reporting sent the world in Bitcoin into a complete tiz, right?
And now he's worth that much more.
But the point is, he shouldn't be allowed to do it. That's a glitch in the matrix. He's learning how to manipulate the simulation, if you want to do it. And of course, then Blue, on top of that, then Blue sort of pointed out this one here, which I watched yesterday, called The Social Dilemma. This is why I've called this the Antisocial Social Dilemma, because when you start to when you put all three of these movies together, they are just, oh my God, you've got to do it. You're just going to sit down and watch these three movies together. And then then you'll be on the same page as where my headspace is at the moment, because quite frankly, the world is completely doomed to failure right now in my mindset. Right, there's no turning back. The world is doomed, and of course that backdrop shot there is just something out of that movie. And what you see here is these little boxes of people who are being influenced by social media, right? Which is the premise of the movie, the social dilemma. And of course, this is what Blue sort of said. Let's talk about it. Let's get people's thoughts on this. G'day, Luke. How you doing? Luke's joined us as well.
You just got a whole gang here tonight.
Well, we had a whole gang last night privately on Discord. We were on Sonny's Discord last night, gacking away, having a good old chat. Sonny's got a Discord channel as well. So, of course, it's Sonny's channel. You'll have to get the invite from Sonny to go to Sonny's channel. Blah, 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 blah. I will definitely. Hopefully this Monday I'm going to sit down for the whole day, and I'm going to do the 3-part series on how Discord works, so everybody can jump on. But anyway, let's just say hello to everybody. So we got Blue here, as I said. Mark, for doing. Good morning from all city back. Yeah, I know. So Mark, for doing. Melbourne, Australia has been locked down again. I think from what I read, it was bad handling of quarantine.
5 days.
5 days here, depends on how well he's been, who he's come in contact with. Is that right? So was it
from the Australian Open?
No, I think it was something to do with somebody. It was a waiter or something, or somebody who cleans rooms in the hotel where they've got people locked up, right? Not practicing proper social hygiene,
the tennis, the Australian Open's still going, but with no crowd now.
Yeah. And there's that side of it as well. But go on.
But everything else is locked down.
Everything else is
in one of the quarantine hotels. Or something.
Yeah. So I believe from what Niall's been, because we were speaking to Niall last night. Hopefully Niall will join us as well. I should ping him to say come on and chat, because Niall's in Bangkok right now in hotel quarantine. He's been there for 5 days, and he was saying it's very, very regimented. You put your orders in for your food, right? And I think he was mentioning the fact that breakfast comes at 9:03 in the morning, lunch comes at 1:03 in the afternoon, and dinner's coming at like 7:03 at night, or I can't remember the exact thing. He made a comment the fact that it's interesting how it's always 3 minutes past the hour that it's due. And the reason being is the fact that they have a regime that they're doing where they don't. They pick up the meal and they bring it. So that's how it takes 3 minutes to get from the what do you call it, the
kitchen.
The kitchen. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It takes 3 minutes to get from the kitchen up the lift.
I realize that's something you don't have in Thailand.
I've been out of a kitchen, so I can't remember the name. Yeah, but yeah, so it's an interesting sort of, thing, how it's so regimented. Thailand is really doing the quarantine in, they've been doing it pretty much from the start, so they've had pretty much 12 months practice. Whereas, I think they've had 3 or 4 different starts of trying to get the quarantine thing, different people being held responsible and accountable, and nobody doing the job. And oh my God, seriously, that's another glitch in the matrix. It's very simple, guys, right? The virus doesn't care, it doesn't care. If you're human and you've got the virus, its job, it has one sole purpose, which is to reproduce and replicate in somebody else. That's it. It doesn't care. It doesn't care where you come from. It doesn't care about your social climate. It doesn't care how much money you got. It doesn't care whether you're black, white, red, blue, or pink with purple polka dots. It doesn't care, right? If you have a human genome, right, then it wants to infect you. That's it. Until people actually get that through their thick craniums, they will never solve this problem. Anyway, enough of my rant about food. I didn't want to talk about the bloody virus. And of course we have,
Why did you?
Well, again, this social dilemma. The social dilemma issue is the fact that what they talk about here in this movie is the way it's now being manipulated. It was a great idea when it was first launched. Oh, people can connect. Now it's being used for every nefarious purpose, right? Every bit of misinformation is being broadcast left, right and centre, right? And because people are not educated these days, right, they are being sucked into this vortex of misinformation. right? What can you do about that? Well, apart from, you can't turn the damn things off anymore. That's the trouble, right? The complete planet would go into complete meltdown if you turned it off. You've got to see this thing. They use the example of one guy, right? This young lad in the picture here, in the picture. I can't even get my finger going. The picture there, right? He's accessing his social media from bed because, right? He had his phone taken away from him for 3 days, right? And he was almost, he. It's just one of, you got to see the movie, but yeah, it's just. People are just completely lost in the myriad of social networks. I was actually going to go through and even show you a few tricks on Facebook that probably everybody here watching doesn't even know about with social networks, right? I don't know if that's really relevant. Like I know I'm going to sort of show my social feed, right? And of course, my apologies for anybody that shared. Like Michelle Madden, she's only shared that with her friends. I happen to be one of her friends, but we are public, Yeah, I quite agree with you, Michelle. But okay, so that was posted 32 minutes ago, right? Second one there, sponsored. Yeah, well, I got no freaking. I don't want to hide that ad. I don't know if people do that. If you really want the ads to be worth anything, you got to tweak the ad system. You can't turn it off. That's how they make money, right? But things you don't want to see, just turn them off. The more you turn off, the more relevant the ads will start to become, for your viewing pleasure, right? But this one here, from Nick Deans, from Nescendia, right? Paul Howe made a comment, but that was posted 18 hours ago. This one here was posted 3 minutes ago. This one was posted on the 8th of February, right? But did you know you can actually see what's being talked about now? You've got to click on that little arrow. You've got to go all the way down here.
I'd like to add something very interesting. Get the guys to open up an account on Facebook and don't add any friend, which apparently I have one, which is an OEM. So what happens is that every day I log in and the Facebook every day begs me to add friend.
Yep.
And I have none. It begs me every day, every minute to have friend, So guys, think about it.
Yep. Well, it doesn't do that. I've got 2,500 friends, put in inverted commas there, because, they're just people who have added me on Facebook. I don't actively go around plugging my friends are my friends, and as soon as we meet, we do the whole friend setup thing, and that's who I know as my friends. I used to keep a list of my real friends as a list so I could filter, but they've even deprecated that feature. But yeah, if you really want to sort of see what's really happening, there's this thing here down in this list called recent activity. This will reset that particular viewing pleasure. Oh, was it that one? No, that was not what I wanted. Not recent.
That's ad activity.
Ad activity, was it? Most recent. That's what I clicked in.
No, I tried to eliminate all kind of activity, and I'm still having it.
So this is most recent now. Now this is just what's been posted in the last few minutes, right? So this person here, this one here. Somebody has made a comment most recently on that. But you never see the feed. This is how active my feed is. 1 minute, 2 minutes. These are people out of the 2,500 people just doing their thing, right? It doesn't have so many ads in it as well. But as I said, do you want to sort of see the most recent? Most of this stuff is just usually just crap. Facebook, their algorithms are so smart these days, they can filter through to a fairly high degree, and this is what the social dilemma is talking about.
Totally agree.
It's how it filters, right, for one, to engage you so that you can see their ads, right? And that's, once you see that movie, you'll know exactly what I mean. And of course, this is how you get around it, right? By taking back control. Most people don't know how to take control. Now, how you do this on a mobile phone, well, sorry, I don't use my mobile phone. My mobile phone pretty much is dead all the time, unless, of course, I'm out in the field and I need to access some information. Pretty much the rest of the time, apart from taking photos when we're out having lunch, that's the only time my phone comes into play. If I'm outside in the wide open world, I'm interacting with the wide open world, making a video for you guys. I'm not sitting there on my mobile phone. Okay, I might pick it up during lunch or something if Chanya's got hers out, just to see what's happening at that particular moment and see if there's something I need to take care of. But generally it sits in my pocket. Or, I'm taking photos. That's all I do. Then I post my, my Instagram pictures and bits and pieces to engage. Because again, not only sort of the social networks leverage the viewing, I leverage the viewing as well. I have to be quite honest. I'm building, my own social network, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm engaging with people. I'm trying to bring enlightenment, and happy times and some hilarity, to this freaking dull, weird, effed up world we live in. That's what I do, I tend to call it entertainment. I don't know if everybody else considers it entertainment. I think yesterday's video that was quite entertaining. Chanya telling me to shut up. And again, I like it when she's interacting and I catch it on camera. Half the time I don't actually have the camera on when she does her funny stuff. And of course then I have to ask her to do it again, which somehow just doesn't seem to be as spontaneous as it was the first time around, if you know what I mean. Sometimes we really need a film crew doing hours of footage, right? So that I could then go through a couple of hours of footage and to say, let's just use that 3-minute segment, and that's it, and really give you the candid interaction of our life. Because as soon as I get the camera out, it's in my hand, and you change. You change a little. Well, in my case, I change a little bit. I don't swear as much. Like here, I don't swear as much. You should see our live streams when I'm not broadcasting to the wide audience. God, I'm Aussie. What do you expect? Anyway, I'm completely sort of ignoring everybody else in the chat here. Let me just go back to another screen just to see what I've missed. Anyway, let's have a big hello to everybody else. So I did sort of say hello to Martin because he comes up in a different colour. Paul in Sydney, g'day. I said, well, Blue, he's here. Dallo, how's Dallo going? Andy Stubbs. China says COVID came from frozen meats from Australia. Had a good laugh about it. Yeah, well, I would laugh about that one, yeah. Although the WHO has been bought off by China because China pays a lot of money to the WHO sort of can't find any reason to speculate the fact that the virus came from a lab, which to me and to the way that the genome is quite obvious. It was lab produced, right? How does a bat, right, and fauna and flora contain gene segments of the HIV virus, right, in China? You've got to ask that question, right? And that was identified back in March last year, and it's been completely squashed, right? That information that was legitimately found and brought and leaked out of China has all of a sudden disappeared over the last 12 months. Why? Because they're covering it up. But anyway, I don't want to talk about the virus. We all have our own opinions, right? And unfortunately, it just will not go away until we stop socialising with people. Interesting how they want to control the social activity of the human race. Anyway, Robert Groves, g'day, how you doing? We've also got Mr. Mitch has joined us. He's got a little symbol on him as well. Look at that, Mr. Mitch. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, you come up in blue because you've got a spanner. Yes, we did turn on the membership finally. I looked at it something like 6 months ago, and I'm going, how am I going to do this? Like, I've got my Patreons. I don't want to upset my Patreons. I don't want to upset my membership base. I don't want to upset the people who are already super chatting on the live streams. How can I put this on without upsetting the apple cart? But I noticed a few other people had turned it on, in the Thailand area, and a few other channels that I watch as well. And I thought, well, it seems to be the done thing. Of course, only 75% of the people who watched the video gave a thumbs up. 25% have watched the made a point of giving it a thumbs down because they don't think it's appropriate. Wake up, people! Really, this is the world we live in. Right? It's a funny world. Anyway, moving right along. Ralph Lewis, g'day, how you doing? Free Jazz, I think I caught you at the beginning. Question was, any meat pie shops in the area? I haven't seen any. I have to really sort of admit that I haven't seen any. You can get meat pies of a sort in places like Tops or the food halls, like in the food hall in what do you call it? The Mall Bunker. There's a food hall downstairs and a fairly large area down there, and there's a couple of what they call pastry shops. And one of the things they do in the pastry shops is meat pies. But you'll never get a 4 and 20 over here. It doesn't exist. Sorry, no 4 and 20s. You'll never see them over here. Well, never say never, but you know what I mean. Lewis, just dusting here. Okay, Fat James, how is COVID? Convid. So it's supposed to be COVID, convid, convicts. I don't know. Is it a play on names? Look, we're doing all right. I think we had one transmission in Bangkok yesterday. I'd have to go back through my social feed to find that. What else is there? Andy Stubbs, Ralph Lewis, Old Dog New Tricks. Yeah, we'll get back onto the discussion points to get everybody on board. Johnny Siam, how you doing? I do try to sort of make sure I say hello to everybody so you can get you talking amongst yourselves so I can find something to talk about. Not everyone wants to help you buy a house. I know they don't, yeah, but I didn't ask them to, It's weird, isn't it? The whole idea of the sponsorship, I like to use the word sponsorship, is if you think we're doing a good job, then, you can come on and say hello, you can leave comments, you can engage with us any way you want, right? But a lot of people just prefer to say, well, I enjoy the entertainment, so $2 a month, that's all pretty good. You can obviously walk and pay more if you want, I don't mind, but that's all I used to say. If I had 500 people as a member in the channel, right, doing $2 a month or equivalent, Chanya could basically employ somebody else and we could have fun again on a weekly basis rather than on 1 day a week, because she's somebody else running the salon. You know what I mean? That's part of the thinking process. Doesn't all come out of my pocket. Everybody sponsors Chanya to get out of work. Sounds like a great idea to me. Anyway, hit that thumbs up. Yes, hit the thumbs up. Yeah. How are we going for thumbs up right now? I got to go and check the feed. 11? Only 11? How many people have we got watching? 32? Slackers. Anyway.
Warren, you need to do a timeshare for the room underneath the stairs.
Yes, I think that's what's going to have to happen. Yeah. What is it? We got Stephen wants to be in the room. We've got Mr. Mitch wants to be in the room. And well, you're telling me you want to be in the room as well, are you?
Hey, I lived on a ship 4.5 years. I could live in there comfortably.
So we got 3 people vying for the room, for the Harry Potter room. And I think when we come to do the decoration, I'm going to have to actually put a label on there that says the Harry Potter room, or the room under the stairs, in honour of Mr. Harry Potter, of course. Oh yeah, I'm still wearing the red because technically it's still Chinese New Year in America. Just to make all my American friends happy that I am respecting the whole China thing. Yeah. Okay, let's move off that subject.
No comment.
Yes, Darla, Mr. has got anything special planned for your birthday? Is it Mr. Mrs. birthday? Birthdays. Did I miss his birthday? I better not do that because you might see his real name. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Anyway, moving along. You can get Australia meat pies and sausage rolls here in Chanya, and Hua Hin. Kenya, really? Mate, well, that's a specialised shop, I'm guessing, because of the fact there's a lot of foreigners there. But I've never seen them in Bangkok. Mind you, I haven't gone looking for a meat pie anyway. So, sit down and stare at the monitor, please. Sit down and stare at the monitor, please. Yes. Sit down and stare at this is here you all are in the matrix of being of the social dilemma. That's a great picture. I think I'm going to use that more. Search on fire for Patrick O'Herlihy. He delivers a great pies amongst other tasty food. Does he? Okay. We're gonna Mark from England. G'day, how you doing? We got you up early in the morning, haven't we? Good to see you joining us. Most of our English crowd don't join in because we're like it's at that time of night where they should be sleeping. And as I said, so where we're going. Sure. And my comment on your last video was in response to why Australian grapes are cheaper, probably from the amount that ends up in the government coffers. Well, it was just an example. You don't normally find Australian produce in the supermarket, which we've been convinced, right, through the media that is the best way to buy the fresh produce, right? We've been convinced the fact that it's no longer in your interest to go to a farm and buy your grapes, or go to the local shop, right, who might have a deal with the local grape buyer. And again, this is to do with the area. We've been convinced that Woolworths and Coles are going to do it better, right? And so there's no more alternative. You have to pay the price that they offer, right? And then they have a little war between themselves about who's going to offer it this week. And then don't forget, that's the industry I was in for 15 years. I can tell you some stories. I could really tell you some stories, right? Heinz baked beans, for instance. Right, they might be third bestseller in Woolworths, but we could present to them and we could show them data that would convince them that they were the top seller. And they would believe it because we know how to manipulate the data. It's not manipulate, the data is correct, but just the presentation of that data can sway the opinion of the people who are buying the shelf space. You would have no idea how well the industry itself is manipulated through the tools that are available to us. Right, we are being raped left, right, and centre by the technology, unless of course you get on top of it and start to learn the stuff. Unfortunately, it's been given to us like in 1995. Bill Gates gave us Windows 95, which simplified access to the internet. And don't forget, he failed on his first attempt of trying to get people into the internet by trying to keep it as a closed system called MSN. Right, that was doomed to failure. Then he was then he was basically behind the eight ball with the browser, right? And his browser attempts were always behind the eight ball. But he's finally got onto the program 15 years later, right? That maybe we did do it wrong, and he's starting to do something about it. But again, Gates is in control anymore. He's an entrepreneur. He's doing other things now. He's creating a better world for people. He no longer is part of the Microsoft team. And again, like Apple, the ingenuity behind Apple is no longer happening, right? Now it's we can make pretty things on your mobile phone. We can make, Android have had, customizable screens for 10 years now. And now Android, look at this. We can, Apple, we can put little widgets on your screen. Oh, whoopee-doo. Wow. You people are so programmed. Wake up. The technology's there for us to leverage and control and use for our betterment of society. Right, which is one of the things I try to do with the YouTube channel. I try to sort of give you some fun and laughter, and I rave on Saturday morning for 2 hours, and hopefully you can get a laugh out of you. But people are so so wrapped up in their little mobile phone world. It's a joke, right? Believing everything you see, right? No, you got to get intelligent about this stuff, right? Nothing in the world has changed. It's just the way the information is presented to us for them to make money. And once you get a hold of that basic concept, you'll realize how everybody becomes sheep because they want to sell the ads, right? And you've just got to climb above it. Customize your feeds. One of the best way to do it, friend everybody, right? then Facebook has got no idea what to serve you because, right, half the shit that they, if you look at that, as at that video, the way they do it, like, let's put this in front of him because it's an engagement, he hasn't engaged with that. No, Facebook's algorithm doesn't know how to handle people like me, right? Because I don't fit into the mold, right? Because I'm an IT guy, That's the way it is. I can teach people, but, like, seriously, I can't teach the world. I can make videos, but I don't think it'll ever sort of go to, become anything. I need steering from you people. Is it worth me doing that sort of video, the how-tos? Like I did start doing the Wazza's workshop stuff last year. It didn't really, it didn't fall on, a point of being well received from our regular audience. I've tried a few little branches out, and again, the regular audience just like our daily life, and that's our daily life. I want to expand the channel and give some more useful information. Somebody sort of says I've got to have to create different channels for that. And, well, again, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things, but the big players in YouTube are sort of saying, no, keep the one channel, right? The channel is you. People will identify with you. And so I've just got to just mould the content a little bit more fun. It'll take time. Anyway, moving right along. Johnny, we have a French-made outfit for Stephen to wear, do you? Has Stephen joined us? I know he tried to catch me on Facebook the other day, but he called me and I was already in a call on Discord. Discord is always my priority. If I'm in Discord, I won't drop Discord to go and talk to somebody on Facebook. Just let you know that. You have to come to Discord. That's my house. And of course, Facebook aren't monitoring my speech and then giving me 30-day bans because I swear too much. But again, I suppose it does fall on me to actually make some instruction videos on how to properly.
And some of us appreciate your Discord channel because I deleted my Facebook account about 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Again, just deleting your Facebook, that's one alternative. But, in one sort of sense, they win, right? They win when that happens, right? Because no longer does your data influence the algorithm. You know what I mean, So you're better off fighting the system by falsifying the data, clicking on irrelevant ads, right? Making their algorithm second guess itself. That's how you beat the system, by start to use the internet intelligently, right? And trick them. So I've already just showed you there's things you can do. There's little spoofs you can do, but that's for another video. If we have people making nefarious, random clicks all over the place, the algorithms die because they realise that they can no longer control the data. But anyway, Mark, yeah, exactly. I think he definitely would, Johnny, if it does that vision. I love the ISAT shift. Anyway, I think I'm missing something there. Mr. Mitch, we eat about 18 eggs a day. 18 eggs a day and sell 300 a month. Really? That's a lot of eggs. A lot of cholesterol. Facebook is comp. It does not know. Facebook doesn't know anything, but it does know a lot of data. It collects a lot of data where it can filter what they call a mean average and guess what to do. Mark, welcome to the Warrior. This Mark, if you just join, Mark has just subscribed to the channel. He's just become a. Thank you very much, Mark. That's a real surprise. I didn't even know whether that little pop-up actually worked or not, because I haven't been streaming when all the other pop-ups work. So that's pretty neat to know that actually works too. Anyway, good to have you along, and we hope to keep you entertained. Don't forget, there's some stuff on the Facebook there, some special videos for people. So help yourself. We are all being controlled in some way or another. That's right, we are all being controlled because society has lost its cohesion. Right, we come from a society-based collective where we started in the agrarian society, small little gatherings of people together, somebody growing a staple carbohydrate, and somebody growing some vegetables, somebody growing some fruit, trading in among themselves, becoming social. I will give you 3 apples for 2 of your tomatoes. That's how our society started, right? And then, of course, somewhere along the way, somebody in society, they didn't go to school on how to grow the apples. They didn't go to school to how to grow the tomatoes, right? Because they were lazy sons of bitches, and they sort of said, oh, but I know how to chat to people, I know how to talk. I'm going to convince them some way the fact that I can do this and I can get what I want without actually having to lift a finger, right? And we've got a society based on that fact now, where 1% of our society does nothing, absolutely nothing, right, and leverages the other 99%. Right? It's only when the other 99% realise it's that 1% who are the bane of our current modern society will the world change. But unfortunately, with us and our little mobile phones, our little electronic device, don't forget, these things weren't around 30 years ago. These little devices, we'd rather have our little dopamine hit, our little like and our little face emojis and everything else, right? And they don't really care about anything else from that, right? They are so blind to it. But anyway, I will continue to make videos to try to enlighten people and make you happy, realise that there's more to life than Anyway, moving right along, and not really getting any questions going through here. A lot of me talking. I really want to throw it out to the people here on the Discord. And Andy Stubbs has become a member. Cup of markup. I actually didn't expect this to happen today on the live stream. Hi, Wazza. What phone carrier do you use? Are there plans for unlimited data for you now? There are unlimited plans in Thailand. Let me just go back to here, and I'll do you a bit of a plug. Right, I don't mind plugging because I get a kickback out of this. Right, so I'm with this company called Fin Mobile. Now, see this is LastPass. This is what handles my security. I keep on recommending to people, if you want to have a bit more of a secure way of access to the internet, never use the same password twice. Anywhere you go, you're going to need something like LastPass, right, to then manage your passwords, right? And then if one system gets hacked, your whole world doesn't get hacked. But there we are. There's my Fin Mobile. What do I pay? I pay, go to my dashboard, billing. Right, so my billing is $298.53 baht per month. What do I get for that? I don't think it tells me here. My package, there it is, I think it is, yeah. Okay, so for that, right, It's billed for 12 months. I get 80 gigabytes of data, and I get 300 minutes of calls. Data at 10 megabits per second free. So if I use over 80 gigabits of data, they will then throttle down to 10 megabits per second, which is unlimited. I get free SMS, line messenger with no data access, data charge is free, is unlimited, line TV. Right, so that's the package I'm on. I highly recommend it if you're over here, and I think I can give you a referral link as well. So share link to where am I sharing it to? Copied. So if I now go up here into the chat, I can then give you that, which means the fact that you'll get a 10 baht off your monthly, and I get 10 baht off my monthly. It's not a big thing to worry about, but it's 10 baht's 10 baht. 10 baht, that's what, 50 cents, isn't it? Yeah, something like that. What's it, 23 baht to the dollar?
33 cents.
Something like that.
US.
That's right, fair enough, 33 cents. I'm not gonna worry about sort of offering something for somebody that I think is a pretty good deal, right? To get 10 baht off that for every next bill, whenever your friend still uses. So, and I believe so, it's a referral marketing sort of type of thing. So if I had, basically, I think if I had 25 friends using this mobile phone deal, the way I read that, I get the thing for free.
You'd have free service. Just think if you could get 3,000 people using it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't think it actually goes that far. I'm pretty sure they would draw the line of actually paying me. But you get the idea. But yeah, this is who I use. There are unlimited plans out there, and I know AIS has one. I'd have to go and look for AIS to give you an idea. AIS. And unlimited net speed, so unlimited, and that's really nice, isn't it? The service is temporarily unavailable. Oh well, there you go. I can't actually show you. Check for a saved version. No saved version either. But yeah, there are plans. AIS. But yeah, what's it? 7 days. So effectively, that'll be 600 baht a month, or probably 700 baht a month for an unlimited 2 megabits per second plan. Again, it's to do with the speed, right?
Didn't your plan just give you 10 megabit unlimited?
Yeah, well, that was for free, but I'm paying that price. Yeah, there are different plans. You just got to search around for them. I'm very happy with Fin Mobile, and I have not had a problem with them ever since I switched over. And yes, it was actually a referral. Tim, our mate Tim in Chanya, he was the one who referred me. So he gets 10 baht off from me using the service that he recommended, right? And I don't mind that. I think it's pretty cool. What comes around, pay it forward. What goes around comes around. I think we've got to get back in society's got to get back to the fact that we, as friends, can all help each other, right? Facebook's one way you'll get to do, but really, it's the people, right? We were talking to Sonny last night, and we were talking about getting what they call a business visa. I think it was a business visa and a work permit on a business visa. And I just said, but I really don't want to shove 2 million baht over here to open a business, right? We've already got a business, if we could leverage that business and me going on the books in that business, he said, yes, you can do that. And I said, but I don't want to I haven't got 2 million baht in assets to go underwrite that business. And he says, you don't need to. And I go on, well, everything I've seen on the internet suggests you do. He says, talk to a lawyer and you'll find out you don't. Talk to the people who know how to set it up. So, first things first, let's get our house all done, right? Once that's done and sort of sewn up, and then I'm going to explore this whole business angle and then make videos about it. Because if this is the case, well, I'd rather sort of give you the examples from the first-hand information. I did it, so therefore it works, and this is how we did it. Rather than sort of, like we do now, and what I found on the internet. The only thing I can sort of say works is, right, if you ever looked at the what do you call it, the 90-day check-in process. Are you familiar with that? The 90-day check-in process is actually an online system here. But if you go to immigration, there's big signs on the door that say that you need, if you're going to use the online system, you need to apply that system between 15 days before your due date for the 90-day check-in, up to 7 days beforehand. Right? It will not be accepted after that day. Well, I was, mentioned last week I missed it. Well, this is the actual page here. Go to this page, right? Not the one that's on the Thailand immigration website. You've got to go to this page, right? You've got to scroll down. You've got to click the little button here. You've got to accept the conditions, right? And then you go to the process. And guess what? I did that on the 9th, which was a day before my required day. It was accepted on the 10th, right? And if you don't believe me, I'll show you the printouts. But seriously, what you read sometimes doesn't even apply to immigration, right? It works. I've been using it. Go on.
Do you think that's a translation error?
I have no idea. It's just that basically somebody wrote it down when they first launched the system, because they didn't know how reliable it was. Maybe after, the thing's been running for quite some time. Like I tried to do this when I first came here. The first time I tried to do it was my November check-in, December check-in 2016. The website said, no, you need to go to immigration first. Your first check-in must be done in person. Now, you don't see that written anywhere, but I did make a mention of the fact that you have to do this. So I went in and did the thing. And then my February check-in, right, I went online and the website wasn't working. Oh, okay, so then I went to immigration, right? Came around to the 3 months later. I went online again, right? I clicked on that first page and it didn't go anywhere. So the site was running, but didn't work, right? This is just bugs in the system, right? I think I did it 3 times in a row. And then the 4th time I had to go and do it in person anyway, because it was renewal of my visa, and I just basically for 2 years just stuff at the website doesn't work. Let it wait till it actually works properly. And then last year, well, I think probably about 18 months ago, I noticed they started to put big signs up in immigration that you have the alternative. And I think with the whole COVID-19 thing last year, they've really given it some more processing power, because it does seem to work quite reliably now. So simplified the thing. And again, so Sonny didn't know you could do that. The 90-day check-in's been on revenue for fraud. So I gave Sonny some information last night, one-on-one, from information I had learnt. Right, and he gave me information that I knew. This is how we should be functioning as a society. Friends helping friends. And again, getting back to the whole Discord thing, this is where we hang out. That's what I want people to do, It's an open house. You can come in, do your own thing. If you want to run your own little, subsection text on the Discord, I don't mind expanding all this up, like we have all our games, we have our chat channels, like I put this one here, the Bitcoin School. I put this one up for Richard, because Richard does mining, right? And he was going to leverage that and sort of give people information on Bitcoin, right? Because he's a miner. Now, if you want to learn about Bitcoin, do you go to the person who's actually in the trenches mining the stuff, or to the people out there giving you all the hairy-fairy stories that they read online? Who would you go to? Go to the source. That's how I operate. And that's the thing. You build a network of contacts and people which you can start to really feel confident in what they tell you. And that's to get back to building friendships, building relationships. I think we've talked about it on videos and over the years. Relationships with Thai girls. It's not a financial transaction if you do it right. But unfortunately, people have got so wrapped up in their little online dating apps now, they've forgotten how to really build a relationship anymore. The old-fashioned way, right? Talk to people, get to know them, right? Find out your common interests, find out what they don't like, find out what floats their boat, And again, if it's a girl, what's wrong with buying her gifts? It's what we used to do in the old days. Right, some now, but these days it's become something that, it's taboo. You can't buy them this, you can't buy them that. They've got their own money. What? What happened with society? Right? You've been programmed by the wrong people. Anyway, hope you'll enjoy my little rant today. I think people like my little rants. They tell me they like the rants. So. And Stephen Monash has joined us. G'day, Stephen. I don't know if you remember how to get on the Discord. You can come and join us if you want. Anyway, moving right along. Click on that, make sure I don't miss anybody. So getting back to the story, I guess. Stephen Monash, only 5 days lockdown. Yeah, well, we'll have to see how that goes. They've said 5 days, but whether it's actually longer. They are effing up. Yeah, we got Martin, one of my members, is coming out. He's still booked for Sunday flight out of Melbourne. He's now worried that they're going to shut down the airport. He's got 2 days to go. I don't know if Martin's actually around. Martin, you still here? Where are you? Okay. I didn't see him, but he may be watching. So Martin's due to fly on Sunday and do his 2 weeks in a hotel, and hopefully after that our bars will be open again. And again, so we've got, as I said, we've got Niall in quarantine right now. I think he's been in there for 5 days. And we're again keeping our fingers crossed that we can get on top of this no bar openings in Bangkok. But alternatively, we can always sort of say, well, if you want to do the drive, Niall, if you're watching, come out west, we'll go to Nakhon Pathom. Bars are open in Nakhon Pathom. It's just across the little border here. We can go and find a bar in Nakhon Pathom, have a few drinks. But we are looking forward to get back to see Susie again. Look at that, coming up to the first hour. They say it's just a number, but this cold weather makes me ache. Look, I know how you feel there, Mr. Mitch. I would get aches and pains at 10 degrees Celsius, which is equivalent. What is 10 degrees Celsius? 10 dg. 10 degrees Celsius is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I would get aches and pains at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So I know how you feel, because it gets pretty cold where you are. 3 days. Okay, what else? Sheep. Let's let the lions. Well, that's another sort of thing. For quite some time. I have a piece. Let me see if I can find it in my archives somewhere. Where we go? Let me go to my Google Drive. It was written about mid-1990. I think I came across it in 1994. Oh, come on. I got too many things in that folder. Probably would have been better if I actually looked at it. Well, there it is. There's the document there. Now you're going to love this. This is a lovely piece of work. This is how we were in the 90s. This is what we thought about. Don't forget, I've been on the internet for a lot longer than most people, right? And this is why this pretty much came out in the 90s when Facebook, when YouTube, well, Facebook, when Microsoft thought that they were going to own the internet, right? Welcome to the internet. No one likes you here. We're going to offend, insult, abuse, belittle, the leveling hell out of you. And when you rail against us with, "If you geek, whopping, skater, goth, loser, punk, fag, bitch," we'll simply smile to ourselves. We laugh because you don't get it. When we turn up the heat, hoping to draw more entertainment from your irrational fumings. We will judge you, and we will find you unworthy. It is a trial by fire. We won't ever think about turning down the flames until you finally understand. Some of you are smart enough to realize that when you go online, it's like entering a foreign country, and you know better than to ignorantly F with the locals. You take the time to listen and to think before you speak. You learn, and by learning you are gladly welcomed. And this is the way we lived up until probably the advent of Facebook, and I still hold it dear to my heart. You people don't understand, right? But I'm here to teach you if you want to learn how it really works. I've been on the internet for 30 bloody years, right? It wasn't called the internet back when I was starting, right? It was called FidoNet. You know, it took 3 days for an email to get from one side of the planet to the other. But that still beat the snail mail. But this is how we operated. You know, I was online from 84 with an acoustic coupler. You know, put the handset down on a thing, and you could access bulletin boards to get the inside.
I was going to say this reads like a BBS.
Well, I think I go. That was actually on my BBS. Or was it? No, probably wasn't. It's so long ago. Got to go through here. While we're talking about it, I'll let you read the rest of it. But yeah, so I ran my own BBS in 86 is when 87. I ran the Tesseract BBS, which was a CPM 3 Plus machine with 4 lines, right? Which meant I had to rent 4 lines from Telstra, right? But people would dial into my system, and it was a CPM 3 Plus machine. Right, everybody has security access to do what they wanted on it, you know. But it was basically a bulletin board with access to all the latest files. And there, Mr. Mitch has hopped on the server. I don't know if he's going to actually make it his way to the channel. We'll give it a go. Hopefully, we'll. When he's got the video on how to make it work, I'm sure we'll have more people joining. We'll definitely get onto that this week. But yeah, so we had the BBS. By '89, we had things like 1200 baud modems and 14400 baud modems, or 9600 baud modems. And there was 89, which gave us a little bit more speed, right? And then something like I think for about 1991, we had Email offer their dial-in service. And the speeds gradually got faster, and we were on the internet in those days. That's when internet was good. It was like an adventure, because there was no Google back in those days. People found out information from other people, like I've been saying. It's about we've got to get away from this bullshit, expecting Facebook to give our shit to us. We've got to get back to building a community again, right? People in the know. Like I might be good at computers, but Mr. Mitch might be good at cooking. Blues Inc., he knows about airlines. Davey boy, what's your thing, Davey? What do you get off on? What's your stick? If he's there. Luke, what do you do? What's your game claim to fame?
BBS is
Well, what else do you do apart from BBSs now? Come on. What could people
No,
come
I'm
to
IT.
you?
I'm IT.
You're IT as well, okay. But you probably have a different flavour of IT. This is how we should be looking at, right? People building up open-based community. And as I said, there's no financial incentive to me to run the Discord. It's just what I do. I've paid extra on my Discord. I actually pay for my Discord to give my Discord server a little bit more grunt than the average Discord server because, again, it's going to have more people, right? And again, you don't have to pay me if you want. If you're really using our Discord as a member, I'll escalate your privileges so you can help drive it. And then, of course, you can do what I do, and you can put a few more pips in there to make it go faster. But that's up to you. You'd be paying them, not me. Right, if you think that was a worthwhile thing. But this is what we should be doing. We should be getting together as a community, right? Rather than sort of everybody trying to kill each other, right? Oh, you voted, Democrat, or you voted Republican. I don't want to talk to you anymore. What has happened with society with that, right?
Actually, I'm driving the Facebook algorithm into nuts. First thing, I have no friends.
Yeah.
And second thing, I like those things that I dislike. Let me repeat that again. I like those things that I dislike. And every time when I open it up, it just shows me everything that I dislike it.
Good. Yeah. Don't forget if you do that too much, if you're too narcissistic and breaking their system, you'll get sent to Facebook jail for 7 days.
No, Warren. Actually, I just want to figure it out how their algorithms works and things like that, how they siphon informations and things that we like and we dislike and what we love and we don't love and things like that. They're actually studying us like a lab rats,
Oh, they are, yeah. But again, the way
So what happens now is that the public are not aware that there's a system, a kind of a computer, a supercomputer at the server. They're actually studying our behavior, right? What we like and what we don't like, things like that.
Yep.
I'm just and then they after that they just feed us into it.
That's it.
Until to the end of our days, and people just didn't realize it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do this like awareness, like the internet awareness that people have to have this balanced mind and a clear mind that what they are being attracted to and what they are interested to and what they don't like and what they like.
Yeah,
that's my point of view.
Yeah, and again, so what I would suggest, and the three that we're talking about here, and this is the order I watched them in. For those people who are joining late, we started out talking about this, and we've obviously gone off on the whole, we're being used. But let's get back to the thing. If you really want to do a sort of binge watch this movie called Bliss. It's a light-hearted look at the other side, right? Another one I would recommend would be Her. This is a movie that's out a few IMDb. This is another movie I got a lot out of. I felt really connected to. This one here. This would be another one I would highly recommend, just for a light-hearted entertainment. In the near future, a lonely writer develops an unlikely relationship with an operating system designed to meet his every needs. It was a real, seriously, you can just see how people can fall in love with these AIs, in sort of one sort of sense. But yeah, definitely, these two movies just for some light-hearted entertainment, and then watch this one here, A Glitch in the Matrix. This one's fairly low budget, but a lot of really good information, a lot of snippets from other sources, and then round it off with this social dilemma, and it will set you on a path of rediscovery. How can we beat this shit, right? And again, that's really what I'm talking about today. There is a way to beat this, right? And the way to beat this is to get back to becoming a society again, right? And how do you do that? Well, you start with small groups of people, right? And Discord is a great tool. And again, I make nothing by recommending Discord. There's no incentive for me to recommend Discord apart from to build community, right? And that's what I want to do. I want to get people connecting again. And I'm going to sort of make a big effort now to try to get that connection. I'm just an Aussie, I'm just a typical Aussie guy. I try not to swear when I'm in public, I don't enjoy a beer these days because the beer really has a lot of calories. I enjoy a libation with you. Maybe you can drink the beer, I'll drink a vodka. You get the idea. I don't mind a drink every so often. I'm just an average guy. I got a few smarts. I know how to hold a camera. I'm nobody special. Right, I'm just somebody who has broken the mould that society has tried to create, which is again, why do we call our little Discord server the Callisti Liberation Front? Well, Callisti, to the beautiful one, how to liberate yourself. That means everybody. Release your inner beauty, become something new, become something else, right? Let's all do it together. Let's screw the system. I think by understanding that there is a matrix, right, which is these social networks that are being created, there are ways to leverage them and to beat the systems, right? There are ways to exist, right, by sharing things we will learn between each other, right, and spending the time. As I said, I could sit down one-on-one like I did last night with Sonny, sort of try to get him into the Discord genre because he loves the idea of Discord, but it's just one of those sort of things. It's a learning curve. Facebook, with their messenger, has simplified messaging, right? Their AI and their system, right, has been built to make it simple for everybody. Right, but again, you're subject to their whim, right? And they're going to monitor everything you talk about, everything you write about, right? That's information that feeds back into their system, right? If you spend an hour learning Discord, right, the ins and outs of Discord, then you can break out of that. Right, and that's what I'll do. That's what I build those videos about. I'll frame it in sort of a way of breaking out of the mold, because there are ways to do it, and you don't need the social media. Discord's on your phone. It's on the web page. It's on an app on your desktop. It's on Apple. It's on Linux. It's on all the major platforms. You won't have a problem accessing Discord, right? And it won't be so in your face like Facebook is. Right, it's a way to share with your communities, and as I said, I've got many communities that I'm a part of, right? And that's it. You'll just be invited to my community, and from where you go from there, right, is really an exploration of finding the communities that really leverage and fit with you guys. Anyway, Douglas Williams, what is this video about? Well, we started out talking about the antisocial social dilemma, and we're still trying to lead back into that discussion. It was a suggestion that Blues Inc. Came up with a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Warren?
Yep.
Live More Life was asking, how does he join your Discord? Have you posted the link for Discord today?
I haven't, but I should. The links are down below in the box, but to simplify it, I just got to go. I got to go here. I've got to then copy the link, and then I got to go here. I wish I had more screens sometimes. It would make life a bit easier. And hit that, and there we go. That's the link. And there we go. There's the link to Discord. Right, and there is a bit of a learning curve. So, but you're all welcome. As to, if you do misbehave, me and Oggy have what they call ability. Oggy is an admin on the server, right, and he could lower your volume or mute you, so I don't have to do it. But yeah, let's just be human beings for a change. You don't have to get on here and defame anybody or be anything. But most people, everybody, like, I don't think I've really had any bad issues with any bad players at all on my Discord. I think partly because of the fact that this is as far as it goes. It goes to Discord. Once you get a ban on Discord, that's it. You can't get back. It's not like a 24-hour muting from Facebook or something. That's it. People on Discord tend to be better behaved generally. You tend to find most of the trolls are computer illiterate anyway, so they're probably the last people to actually join a Discord server because they usually don't have a freaking clue. Billy K, is that you? Is it? He's got on there. So you got to scroll down on the text channels, and you'll find the voice channel there where everybody else is hanging out. Discord is like a black hole, yes, but the only reason why Stephen had trouble with it is the fact that he didn't verify his email address because he used the wrong email address, and that's what's made life difficult for Stephen. Not sort of saying that he's not welcome to come on unauthenticated, but it does make the job of Discord a lot harder if you're trying to access it from a web page. The web page
Should
system.
I move Mr. Mitch to a Discordian?
Yeah. If he's there, we know it's Mr. Mitch. I think I did. You've already done that. Good on you. Billy K. Once Billy K's plugged in and says hello, he can get an increase. Basically, when you first come on, it's a very short list of channels, so you don't get confused. Once you get the privileges to do more, it becomes a little bit more obvious what goes on. But wait for the video instructions if you're going to have a bit of trouble with that. Live More Live, Billy K, that's me. Yeah, so you'll find in there we've got the channel. If you're on, I don't know, you're on what are you on, mobile? Let me just move that over there. Billy. Oh no, he's on desktop, so he shouldn't have too much trouble. Right, if you're on the web page, you just got to come over here, right, and then click where it says on air streaming. But before you do that, go into the voice and video on the settings here. Make sure that your volumes, you got a check button here. Right.
He's on laptop.
Yeah, check to make sure that the audio is working. Check to make sure you can hear yourself. Don't worry about the cam. We're not doing any cam stuff. We might do cam stuff down the track, but make sure that this little voice activity thing is working. You can tune that voice activity. This way here is automatic. That way is manual, right? And what you want to do is this little bar, as you talk, needs to be peaking over that little bar. That little in between bar. I've got mine set at 65 dB. Now this is what I mean. This is why it's different to Facebook. It's a little bit more involved to get things working right. Facebook have built it so that you don't have to worry about this shit, right? Whereas Discord, it's a lot more involved, a little bit of setting up, but once you've got it set up, that's it. You're pretty cool with it. And once you've got your voice, then you click on here where it says on air streaming, and you will join the channel and talk away. We'd love to have you come and join us. But don't worry, or wait till I get these videos, because I've been rushing through it. I'll do it a little bit more as a sane approach to how this works. And look, I'd love to have 20, 30 people here all coming on, so I didn't have to go hoarse every morning. I'd like to hand over to these guys here and watch what's being missed. I can't operating the screen for the web page, right, looking who's coming on and reading the thing. It's a little bit too much for one person. Whereas once we got the crew working, then I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves rather than typing, and then it becomes like a rather more interactive sort of process. Anyway, what else have we got? Tomorrow I'll start the Discord process over. I had loaded it. Yeah, some of the problems, see, you can, on the Discord, you can inadvertently, remove yourself from the server as well. And I have had a lot of people do that. With this system here, because Facebook is so hell-bent on keeping your attention, you have one account and it's linked to your messenger and everything else, and it's always in your face. you're pretty much not forgotten. Discord, because you're not using it every day, can forget things, and as things time out, and you forget your passwords. So it really comes down to managing your passwords. As I said, LastPass is the way you do it. Getting back here, open my vault. This is what it looks like when you've got it. LastPass. You're not going to see any of my passwords, but this gives you an idea how much I use it. Right? How many websites I use that have a login. There's a lot of them, right? And every one has a different password. So if WordPress got hacked, it wouldn't infect my Cloud Imperium games, right? If Cloud Imperium games got hacked, it wouldn't affect my Arc games. Get the idea. Everything has a unique password, right? And there's no way any human being could remember 150 passwords at 16 characters, and they all look something like this. There's an easy to read one. Puspertiramplatai, right? I can use easy to read. S at H73, so it doesn't have any of the confusing characters. Or you can go one like that, which can be really confusing, right? You can set your password length, right? What is required. Some websites won't even let you use symbols, so you have to tune it accordingly, right? But this is this is my passwords. This is what I use. I can't remember my password. I have one password I remember. That's my password to LastPass. That's all I remember. Everything else is taken care of by them. Right? I do trust them. They did get hacked in 2016, but I did also have dual authentication, which meant the fact that the first thing I was told, once I was informed of the hack, right, I jumped on there, re-authenticated, and then changed my password in LastPass. Right, secured me again from anybody sort of getting into my account. But that's the thing. That's all you do. You pay for it. A service that's good, you'll always pay for. Right? Free services are free for one reason. You're being used for something else. That's why it's free.
What are you using us for?
I'm using it to try to educate the world, one person at a time. So, Dougaggy83. How you doing, Dougaggy?
Are you an Aggie, Doug?
He's trying to get his sound working. It's all right.
I thought I heard him.
It does take a little bit of sound tweaking, especially if you're using the defaults on a web page, because the fact that the web page comes through that way.
Just saying that seems to be a lot of game sites on here, Warren.
On my LastPass. No.
No, I think he's talking about.
I think you're imagining things.
Discord.
Oh, and Discord. I think you're imagining things. Not a lot of games. Not a lot of games at all. I didn't finish. Didn't scroll down. If you want to read the rest of that.
Warren cons me into buying a game every 3 weeks.
Does anybody want this article? I can share it with you. There we go. So open with Google Docs. Right. I can share the link to you so you can actually download it yourself and have a full read. And then I can suggest editing, cloud sort of share. I'm going to share it. Hey. Oh, I don't even know how to use the computer. It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. F you, geek, wimp, skater, goth, loser, punk.
Yeah. So let me get back out of there. Let me get out of it there. Let me close that.
Could you send that to my Fido mail?
Send it to your Fido mail. Share.
You can just access it over DARPANet.
Right. Okay. So anybody with this link will be able to open it, right? And I can copy that link, and then I can put that link over here. If you everybody just want it, it's a great read. This is how that's what we were like back in those days. Now we're a lot more forgiving, and I think we're just going to give up being more forgiving and get back to what the internet's supposed to be used for. It's a tool.
Looks like Mr. Mitch has 2 accounts in Discord.
Does he? He's probably got 3 or more.
How do you check that?
It's on the right-hand side, where it says who's online. If you have that column open.
Yeah, the column can be hidden. I think the whole column can be hidden. I think it should be open by default, but yeah. So you can see all people who are online now. We got sort of all these people. Oh, John Mark, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Figured I'd try this out.
Oh, there you go. You did make it. Anyway, now that we've got a lot of people here, let's chat amongst ourselves and forget about the people on the typing chat. We've actually got a party going on here. And what I should do is I then should get a second camera up. Excuse me.
I'm not showing you haven't logged in, Dowlo. And let me go back into the logging section.
Anyway, let Loggy look at that. I can't do all the technicals while. Morning, go ahead, Joe. How you doing? What mobile phone do you use? I'm using a Realme, but you can't get my my phone. Realme XT. I don't think it's available anymore. GSM Arena. So that was the Realme XT, released in 2019 September. I bought mine in October 2019. Love it to bits. So GSM H+ LTE, available body, display, Super AMOLED. Interesting how Super AMOLED, when did Apple come out with Super AMOLED? Was it last year, was it? And it was a new thing. That's right, that was OLED. They called it something OLED or something. They gave it a different name because they didn't want to copy something else.
Well, it's got to be Apple specific.
Yeah, I know. So it's got a memory card slot. I got the 128 gig version. It's got a quad camera rear, 64 megapixel for the main camera with the f1.8 lens. It's got an 8 megapixel f2.3 camera for the ultra wide. It's got a 2 megapixel camera for the 2.4 macro, and it's got a 2 megapixel camera for 2.4. That's the depth. If you've seen my photos on our web page, there's those ones that do the, picture with the blurred background. That does the blurring factor. So it uses 2 lenses and blurs the background from the focus and everything else. Flash, the front camera. The front camera, I think, is selfie camera. There it is, 16 megapixel front camera, f2.0, 25mm wide. Loudspeakers 3.5, so I still use the jack, although I plug in nowadays with the Bluetooth. It's got a 4,000 milliamp battery, non-removable, fast charging, 20 watt. It's cost me 11,000 baht. There's your Amazon pricing now. I don't know, what's that in American dollars? Is that they dropped in price? Because it's better phone. Realme have got better phones out now as well.
Doug is asking you how to add an avatar.
When I do the videos, I'll go through and in the video thing. It's about an hour of instruction I need to make, but I want to break it up into specific videos so that you'll just watch one in a series. How do you set up a Discord account, right? Let's not try to complicate it. First things first, setting up a Discord account. How do you install the Discord app on your phone or on your desktop and so on and so on? How do you set your audio up, right? How do you join a Discord server? How do you tweak your sound? So there's all these little things, and nobody that I can see has ever done a series on all the little features of how to make Discord work, and that's why people give up on it, because it's just too complicated. But let's educate the world. Anyway, what I was going to do is 11,000 baht. That's what I paid. 11,000. That was $368 US when I bought it. So it looks like it has come down in price a bit. Yeah, there are other versions out there. So that's just the Realme XT. But if you, they've got better phones out now. I don't see it. Again, phone finder doesn't even come up here. If I go to Realme, yes, looks like it's still available in India. Let's just go realme.com, Thailand, and of course it's only in Thai. Thank you. Translate this page. Yeah, so I think the current one that's equivalent to my phone now is a Realme 7 Pro. This is the current flavour. It's 10,000 baht. What it has, it's got all the, this is just their website, fingerprint recognition, it's got all the right stuff on it, I just find it. And the best thing about it, it doesn't use they haven't butchered the Android operating system. So it's pretty much a stock standard Android system. All these bigger players like Samsung and what do you call it? Was it Huawei, and what's the other big brands? They take the Android OS.
Oppo.
Oppo have done it. They've rebranded and they've put extras in it. Realme have gone for the simplicity of the Android system. That's why I like it, because I want my phone to operate the way I want my phone to operate. I don't want anybody telling me what apps I should be installing on my phone. I don't want anybody sort of advertising to me outside what I have selected to be advertised for. Right? It's just the way that's why I like the phone. Right? I'm in control, not Samsung. But anyway, but that's the way I am. I just don't take it for granted. I find the ways in and out. Who else we got? Just let me flick back to the screen. Still got people, 35 people watching. How many likes we got now? What's the like count? Come on.
19.
Slackers. I'm going to sack my audience. Where can I go get a new audience from?
No comment?
I want a new audience. So I want more people liking the stream. Come on, like it. The link I gave is the link to my Discord server. And this is the problem with the Discord server link. It drops you straight into the deep end, which I've tried. That's why I really need to make the video series. I did make a video last year about it, and it was just way too complicated. It was too technical. I'm going to have to make this series, and I'm going to have to give it to somebody like Sunny and say, does it make sense? Do you understand Discord now with this playlist? And then if he says yes, then we're good. It'll go live. If he says no, I didn't understand that one, then I'll remake that bit, and then I'll remake that bit. We'll get it tweaked to the fact that it's easy to understand, because it's one of the hardest things I find is things that I find very intuitive because I've been doing it for so long. It's just simply not intuitive for other people, and I apologise for that. But unfortunately, I see a problem, I need to fix it. It's another thing you didn't realise about me. I might be an engineer, but don't forget the one thing about engineers, guess what? We're always trying to fix something. It's probably why I'm always trying to fix YouTube, always trying to fix my videos, always trying to come up with a better idea. I never get anything done because I'm always trying to fix something else. The only way I can stop trying to fix shit is to dive into a game.
Warren, I need to answer there's this guy live more life. He says that what about you create an FB group for all of us to the network, and what I'm trying to explain to him is that in Discord you can do almost anything. Nobody gonna come and monitor you and sanction you, you know, if you use a 4-letter word and things like that.
Yeah, look,
But YouTube does.
I do
does.
have a Facebook group, right? This is my Facebook group.
Yeah, but exactly, and they just you know, they ban you and things like that, you know, FB, YouTube, whatsoever. So Discord, there's no people banning of each other and things like that.
Yeah. So this is like the public channel that Facebook give us access to, but you know, again, it's like every Facebook group, the information is transient. This is the problem with the society we live in today, is information is so transient. It's in your face for 5 seconds, right? You go to your home page, right? So there we go. And what's the first thing? Okay, Alan Scott, he's come up with this thing here, right? And I scroll down and I scroll down and scroll down, and then I go and hit the home button again. Oh, now I want to go back to that thing that Alan, what did Alan sort of say? What was that? Where's that thing that Alan had? What did Alan talk about? Could I find that again? That's the transient nature of Facebook. It's in your face for 5 seconds, it's gone, right? They don't want you engaged in something that might be useful. They want to sell ads, right? Whereas Discord, right, we build it for us, right? And that's what the great thing about it is. Like, currently is built around my gaming and my regulars. That's what we've got built now, but it just requires people to come on and to say, well, what can we do more with it? As I said, last night we were watching, the night before last, we were watching videos together, you know, and like it's a movie studio from the comfort of our own seats, you know, so, you know, I think, you know, you can have yourself your whiskey or your, you know, your cigarettes or your cigars in your own home.
Yeah, they call it upselling.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You know, this is why I love Discord so much. You know, like I said, right now I can turn around, I could go and, you know, in my video library, or even sort of go to YouTube, or even I could go here, you know, and stream into this, and I can play the trailer. I can't even play the trailer on YouTube because it's copyright, but I can play the trailer to my Discord people, right? You know, because it's my family, it's my group, right? And there's nobody sort of holding over me, you know, like some sort of, well, we'll ban you because you're playing copyright material. Well, we'll just say, stuff you. This is my server. Try and take me down. You know, such is life. Anyway.
I think that when I first met you, Warren, and got on Discord, I referred to it as kind of a hybrid of IRC. I mean,
Yeah.
It has a very IRC feel to it, but, you know, you've got the video, you've got a lot more flexibility. But it's very similar. I mean, you've got the hashtags, the chats, the sub-channels.
Yeah, but again, so IRC was never marketable. You know, this is why we don't see IRC these days. Yeah, but the thing is, well, this is the thing. This is where people hang out. Like IRC. IRC was great back in the day as well. I don't use IRC anymore. No, it's too slow. Start a Discord name. Thailand's Beers for Queers. Oh no, we could. Well, look, I could have a dozen different channels here. But then, of course, to give them to ramp up their performance, which means I need to buy more into the Discord. You know, and I don't really want to spend too much money in Discord. You know, I've got it working so that we can upload bits and pieces and text and video, and we can have a video chat with each other. You know, right now, you know, nobody's streaming their camera, of course, but that's our video chat, and you know, it's just like Zoom, right? In one sort of sense. So it's got all the features, right? But if you turn your camera on, you'd pop up there. I've only got one camera set up, so I can't do that because I'm streaming the camera into what do you call it, into Streamlabs. But everybody else could be sharing their pictures. We're going to have a video chat with each other. That's up to you guys. If you wanted to do that, I got no problem. Somebody actually said last night, why don't we do that? Well, I sort of said, well, if we were going to do video chat, I would go to StreamYard because they do it better. StreamYard is pretty much ruling the roost right now for live video stream. Right, and again, so Oggie's just complied. There's Oggie. Hey, Oggie! He can't see me. He can only see me on the yeah. But yeah, so you just turn your camera on, and there we are. We're talking to each other. But anyway, so not that we don't want to see Oggie.
Send me away.
Send you away. Just drag you away. Gotta love having multiple screens, don't you? Anyway, what have I missed? I keep like
Blues.
What have I got to miss? What did I miss this time? No, there's Blue. He's what? You fell asleep last night, right? After I was chatting away, and all of a sudden, was I that boring?
We were going to talk to you about that, Warren.
Yeah. Anyway, so Mr. Mitch is here. Now what? Yes. Unfortunately, I'm too distracted with everything else there, Mr. Mitch. You're there. You got to click on the channel that says on-air streaming. But make sure your microphone and stuff's working first. Otherwise, you'll come in, you wouldn't know what to do. So Blues and sharing. So Sean Mark, he's in delay factor. He's still watching the stream directly on the YouTube. That's one thing that can get confusing, of course. That's the 20-second delay to YouTube to the live feed.
Here's Mr. Mitch.
I use the YouTube on my big TV to see the screen better.
There we go. There he is. Let me just adjust his volume. This is one thing you can't do on the Facebook Messenger is individually adjust people's volumes either. Yeah, so how you doing, Mr. Mitch?
Better now that I'm on.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make
headspace. It was my end that was messed up. How are you guys doing this evening or this
good,
morning?
Good.
Good.
Evening for me.
How's life in the cold country? Oh, just thinking about it, I guess.
It's cold right now. It was snowing a little bit ago, but it stopped.
Oh, where are you at?
I'm outside of Seattle.
Ah, okay, that's right. Yep.
That's a bit cold
That's
up
right.
there.
There's a reason why I escaped from the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I'm done with
It's 58 degrees here at night in Phoenix. We've been having mid-70s all week.
Oh, 58 cents. That's t-shirt weather for me.
50,
Exactly,
yeah,
for Seattle, yeah.
That's
a balmy Seattle summer day.
That's double digit. That's double digits, isn't it? Double digits Celsius. That's human.
Well, yeah, that's going to be what, 12?
Yeah, 12 something like Celsius. Ralph Lewis is cold. Yes. See, while you guys talk, I can actually read the chat faster.
So I can read. I'm looking over here. Let's see. Okay. Just looking at the dashboard here. See what I got. All right. Do I still? Does it show I have 2 accounts?
There's one online. Let me scroll down to who's offline. Yeah, there's one offline. So you've got yourself 2 accounts.
Huh? How the hell?
Well, they're both authorized ends, so.
Yeah, it's all right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You've obviously got two email addresses.
Oh, I signed up in the middle of the night. I don't know. Right after you did that, that video on members.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell. I'll join that up, and then I got the link, and I did the stuff, and it was the middle of the night. I didn't remember my password. What an idiot! That kind of thing.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
He was just talking about a password monitoring setup that you can get. What was the name of that again?
LastPass. Yes, yeah.
LastPass. That's what it was.
So yeah, I just. But we'll figure it out. We'll play with it.
I'm lazy. I let Google handle my passwords, so I know people are going to say I'm stupid to do that.
Well, it is one of those sort of things, and that is a bit of a challenge because people have a lot of passwords embedded in Google, but don't forget, so Google's got them, right? If Google, and Google has not been really holding their head above water when it comes to nefarious activities in the last few years, and potentially.
Security.
Potentially a spoof on YouTube with an exploit in a sort of an extension. You could find all those passwords belong to somebody else. don't forget, when you do your LastPass and you get onto your LastPass, it will ask you, do you want to import all those passwords in the LastPass? And you go, click yes, right? Then it will ask you, would you like me to now delete all those passwords in your Google? And then you go, yes, please.
Wait, guys! I'm really worried about this part where people start to change their gear. You know, when they change their laptops, computers, and handphones or whatsoever.
Yeah, do a factory reset.
And all this information are actually encrypted into their hard disks and things like that. So yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, but again, sort of changing devices. When I change my phone, what do? I wipe the phone, right? Do a factory reset. In fact, phones have actually really done well on that. Computers, on the other hand, well, that's a little bit more complicated because most of the time you don't have your loading disk, which then complicates things. I still have my disk.
What are you having, Augie?
Peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
But changing computers can be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
I usually get a new computer when my old one is so dead that it can't be passed on. So I'll usually pull the hard drive and use it as an external hard drive until it completely dies.
Wow, you are really a terrible guy, man. You really squeeze out every last bit of life from your computer.
Darn right. I paid good money for that crap. I ain't giving it to nobody.
Hey, try to squeeze out your SSD, man. I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, live more life. What about other programs you use to network? Meetup? Yeah, well, sort of again, meetup.com.
I use Meetup here.
Yeah, so I've got one Meetup group, but again, sort of Meetup guy, log in. It's again LastPass remembers who I am. Fill in my passwords. I'm not a robot, right? People have got to get out of this. Log in with Facebook. Log in with Google. Log in with Apple. You've got to get out of that crap, right?
Okay.
This is scary, man.
Right. Everything needs individual logins. Right? And if it doesn't provide an individual login option, I would not be using the website.
And you guys need to learn how to play your catch.
So there we go. If I look down here, sort of Friends Funds Bangkok, that's the group I'm in that I've plugged into. This is the one that Jerry runs. We've got 4,000 members there, but it's not used as a communication system. This is just obviously, when events are on.
Post the schedule.
It's for a schedule. If you're going to go there, it'll put it in your calendar and everything else. Meetup.com was about meeting up in person. It's not designed to be a social network. What's the other one I was thinking of? There's another one out there. It's called. I'd have to go to my email.
That looks like Arizona there. That picture.
Gosh, that looks good. That looks so inviting right now.
No, that's the Bitcoin price, 47,630.
But I think I'm going to love Thailand even more.
Oh yeah.
First, you're going to get past the heat.
Before I retire.
Look, my bat's increased. My bat's gone up 20%. There you go. I have a few.
If you guys like the heat and the humidity, I think it should be okay.
We have heat, no humidity here, so I'm just used to
one at a time. Who was that first?
It's really dehydrating, right?
Warren, this is Doug Williams. How do I get permission for video?
Well, you just select it. Oh, hold on a second. I'll just make sure that we.
Yeah, there's a camera button right below, and then you just click it, and then it'll be on.
But it says, okay, and it goes,
There we go.
Hi, Doc. See, you're online now.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice.
Nice to meet. Nice to see. Talk to you finally, Warren.
Yeah, okay. You're not in the live stream camera. I said I'd have to make sure you don't mind your faces going on the public chat.
I think I'm okay.
You're okay. So Yeah, I just a bit of a snapshot. So again, a little bit more of a snapshot. So 3 people share. Like there's Blue. He's sleeping.
No, Warren,
sleeping
Warren, let's keep it like let them orientate themselves and then be comfortable and things like that.
Yeah. So again, so people showing their faces on a live public channel, right? It is a privacy. That's why I don't do it. And that's why I just asked these guys if they wanted to be on there first. So they said it was okay, but let's not make it. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. As I said, if we're doing a video face to face sort of thing, we'd look at StreamYard. It's a lot easier to deal with that. One link and then everybody can join on a thing. But unfortunately, it's just harder to monitor. And again, sort of, I know Stephen Clark's had a few issues with it. In the past, because he sends out the public invite and then the trolls jump on because it's too simple. This thing here, there's a learning curve, it's an education, right? And once you're on it, you tend to say, hey, that's cool.
There's no way, because in Discord, right, it's easy because you got to show your face somehow, somewhere. There's no way to hide, it's a pretty transparent program. So apparently what happened now is that the company, merchandise and groups of whatsoever, they can't make any money or any sense out of Discord. That's what everybody hates them, especially those corporates, big companies like Microsoft, Apple, whatever.
There's
they
no
just hate them. Discord, because there's no advertising and the servers, it runs by itself, guys, and it's free. And this is like somehow they are kind of like, they call it the what is that Greek story? The guy Achilles heel, is it? Yeah, something like Achilles heel. Yeah.
Here's a good question here from Live More Life, and a pretty good answer there from X as well. Was what do you recommend? What do you recommend some devices to purchase when you move to Thailand? Phones, laptops, brands. X has come back and he said, I'd buy your electronics in the West before moving to Thailand. There is that idea. Buying in the West is definitely a good idea because you're going to get it cheaper. But the thing is,
I think I have a suggestion is that when you come over to Thailand, right? I would suggest that you look for companies or respectable companies that covers your electronics for a good old 3 years of warranty.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to get to. So. Buying the West, the problem with buying the West is like if you bought an Android Pixel phone, right, you're going to have almost no chance of getting it repaired over here because it's not even in the country. So that's the downside about buying in the West. You have to make sure the thing that you're buying does have service capabilities in Thailand. Whereas
I've never repaired a phone.
Yeah,
I've always just bought a new one.
But again, when it comes to buying a laptop, well, the other question was to say, well, the laptop's fairly easy to move across, but a desktop PC is not. So if it's a laptop, yes, maybe, but if you want to learn Thai, right, you're going to want to then sort of look at a Thai keyboard. You're not going to get a Thai keyboard on a laptop in the West. So you've got to think outside the box a little bit. Think a little bit long term. Is to say, well, what do I, like bringing my computer equipment with me is going to get me off and running pretty quickly. Alternatively, again, I've said this before, if you come over and you're in Bangkok, right, and especially if you're a Patreon member or a website member or whatever, and you are like subscribed at that level, right, I'm only too prepared to get out of my comfort zone and come and meet you in Bangkok and go shopping with you. It makes for a good vlog, if you don't mind being on camera. And of course I've had some where I've kept the person on camera, off camera, because they don't want to be on camera. But we've still managed to do a vlog, get the idea. I don't mind. I always try to respect everybody's privacy when it comes to that. And again, when we're on Discord, we've got access to each other's, who we are. It's private. Don't share it with people. Definitely if you've got friends that want to come on here, invite them. Right, you can create your own invite links, when you've been approved, right, and have them come in. This is just not my place. This is our hangout. That's what we try to do. It's not one person in control. It's a democracy.
I just want to add, like, people from overseas, anywhere in the world, people tend to have this psychological thinking of, like, they want to bring over their family heirlooms, like what Australia that does have, and then they try to bring over to Thailand.
Yeah,
and same as like the Thailand that live in Australia for many years, like for example, like they live in Australia for maybe 20 years, 30 years, and then they want to bring something from Thailand to Australia, and vice versa. So I mean, I look at it, it's like you got to be flexible and look at things like what you need and what you don't.
Right.
Like, for example, you can live in a street where there's a dentist around the corner, pharmacy around the corner, 7-Eleven around the corner. Yeah, something like that suits your needs, rather than people can think or can suggest that, oh, why don't I bring the whole pharmacy from Australia to the Thailand street, that kind of thing, It's the same acronym. It's like you buy a laptop in Thailand and it covers you for 3 years, right? On-site warranty or home or whatsoever. And then it's like they honor their warranty. Anything happens, you can straight away go back to them and they'll sort it out for you. Rather than, you bring it from your home where you came from, America, Australia, or anywhere in the world. And then you got to carry that damn thing back to your own country and try to get it fixed up, that kind of thing. I look at it, it's like, you spend, like, for example, like, we're talking about American dollars, like $1,000 USD, and then it covers you for a good old 3 years of laptop warranty. So I look at it, it's like, it's pretty worth it, rather than you bring it over, unless you have a company flight that sponsor you, like, to and fro every 3 months, 6 months, or something like that. Then you'll be fine. Rather than, if you're going to stay put in the country for 3 years, so yeah, that's my take on this.
Fair enough, yep.
Yeah.
I said, we're all going to have the thing, but if you're over here, I don't mind going shopping with somebody. Right? Yeah. Psycho, he's about to get back over here, get back here, or get to live in Thailand.
I'm waiting for him to come over so that we can go over.
Yeah. Now he's selling everything, right? I think he's bringing 1 or 2 suitcases of stuff with him.
Right.
That's what I did. I came with 2 suitcases. Things I've acquired since then, things that I definitely need. But you should have seen what I threw out. Right, I gave away what I could, but I still had a what do you call it, a dump truck sized truck, right, to take all the crap that was in my house, right, just threw it out of stuff that I couldn't give away, right, because I'd made plans to come, so I stopped buying new furniture, 10 years before I came. I stopped buying this, and I made do.
Right.
I was always repairing something. I think the only thing new, I actually gave to the person who bought my house, the only thing new that I left in the house was the fridge and the washing machine, because they were the fridge was 2 years old and the washing machine was 3 years old. And I said, you can have them. I'm not going to take them. I'm not going to throw them out because they're bloody, almost new. So have them, as a bonus for buying the house. It wasn't part of the deal, but have them. He says, I'll give you some money, but don't, you've just given me $905,000. I don't need your money. I've got your money. Call it a gift, a housewarming gift. He was really appreciative of it. I didn't really worry about it. People get so hung up with this sort of stuff. It's funny.
Well, it's just that people get too, I don't know, I should use the correct word or phrase, like family heirlooms, they've been passed on for so long and things like that, and then they just want to hold on to it so tightly, and literally they forgot about their own life, which they needs to be transit to somewhere else, other parts of the world, where people take it as a burden. I should say, I should use the word burden, like put it on their backs like a haversack, and then they carry it everywhere wherever they go, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's like, just be like the medieval times, like the paladin or something like that, where you can have a sword and then just go wherever your horses takes you to, and then that kind of thing. Live a carefree life, like travel light, like what they say, travel light. Don't take too many
Laptop, camera, phone, shorts, and socks. That's everything else I can buy over there.
No, actually, Augie, I would suggest to you that you subscribe yourself to Google Drive. You know, they have this like 1 terabyte. Yeah. And you
2
just dump
terabyte,
everything over. And you just all you need to do is just come by yourself with your own underwear, that's it. Everything else is available in Thailand. Yeah. You know, that's another idea of mine. Like, you know, nowadays we have this cloud system, right? Where there are so many free or what you need to subscribe, pay a little bit of money and things like that. You don't have to bring like tons and tons
Still
of
there?
drives over.
What have I done?
Like I said, just
Where you want to leave you?
Check 1, 2.
Yeah.
very basic things.
Don't switch.
What are you doing? Showing off how many phones you've
I
bought?
think I've screwed everything up, have I?
Warren?
Have I screwed everything
Warren
up?
had a
No,
stack
Warren
of something in his hand.
All these hard
Nope,
these
check. Nope, back again.
assets. See, he bought really.
Anyway, I was just talking about
tons
that.
of
I
them,
just
man.
lost you. Hold on a
I
second.
tell you.
Warren's
I have
audio
to
went
get the
away,
audio
or he
back.
muted himself.
Yeah.
Desktop audio.
And he's he's trying to show us his live version of his
I
hard disk
disconnected
collection,
something that I didn't need
like
to
for
disconnect.
200 terabytes, 500 terabytes to 1 terabyte, that kind of thing, you know. And there's so many pieces of hard disks all over his shops.
Okay.
That's funny.
Because I upset my mixer, it decided to crash the sound system.
That's funny. I can hear Warren on YouTube. I can't hear him on
wrong
Discord.
thing. Let's see if
I think
can get
his
it back.
headphone was being
Testing 1,
yeah,
2.
there's a bit of a technical problem there.
Got me.
Who is in Thailand right now? No, Warren is there.
Okay. So I got everybody talking.
Well, Discord just did an update, and they said something about don't be on a call when the update is happening. So we may be getting interfered with by that Discord.
Give us a
update.
second. I know you can hear me, but
no,
I can't
because
hear
I still
anything
see
else
that
going
he's
on.
still streaming online. So
Why
apparently, I
have
don't think
lost
he's
the audio on that?
losing his signal on the live stream from YouTube, right?
All the buttons are there.
That's what I'm saying.
All the buttons are
Discord is
showing
doing
us up
an
running.
update.
What's going
Oh,
on?
really? Now?
I got the announcement when I logged in.
Windows got me so-
He's
so
cutting in and
screwed
out
up.
for me.
Yeah, same here on Discord. I could probably hear him fine if I mute him here.
It's not that one.
Oops, who went away?
So
Yeah.
it's-
Somebody went away.
Okay. Input's working. Output's
You're back.
working.
You mean what? Right now, we need to do a total reboot on Discord or what?
Output's working.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Weird. Okay.
Yep.
What happened there? Anyway,
Well,
I don't
let's
know
see,
what
am I
I
hearing
just
him
done.
through,
I'm going to do a reboot. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I've screwed up the sound system again. I need to do a reboot, but stay on the channel there if you can still hear. Just stay on the channel,
Something sounds weird.
and I will
How's
be
your
back.
cutting out?
Hold on a sec. Maybe if I do this, hold on. Let's see.
Or
if I
can you
get
hear
it back.
us?
Let's see if I can get it back.
He's saying
Maybe
he's going to stay.
Discord. Right, and then bring Discord back on. Maybe it's just Discord not working. One more try.
Can you hear me, Warren?
Okay.
Calling from Earth.
No, okay. I still got no audio for some
You need
reason.
holy water? No. Oh. Shall we perform an exorcism?
Yeah, you guys can hear yourself. I'm going to close the stream now. It's gone to 2-hour mark anyway, but I'll be back. I'm just going to have to do a
Yeah, James,
reboot
there's
so
a
that
delay.
all the audio gets us all back in the situation. Anyway, peace out, guys. Love
Okay,
you
we'll
joining
see you
us.
in a minute.
I'm out of here,
Have a good
and
night,
we'll catch
everybody.
up with you next
Good night.
time. Sorry for about the sudden stoppage.
He's going to come back into the Discord chat.
Discord, right? He's going to come back to join us on the Discord.
Yeah, he's just shutting down the YouTube.
Okay. I head to bed, so I will.
Everybody else, Doug.
I mean,
I think he's really damn. He's
keep talking.
Oh, that was funny.
Do y'all do the Discord every night? How often y'all doing it?
Yeah.